Lovely, jubbly, just tricked you there. God, look at the signal. That's got to be reviewed, especially on the PerfectDraft Pro. And it was quite a lot heavier. Especially on the Good afternoon, people. It's Paul, Rate My Beer, and most of you know, and that will know anyway. So I'm after a pair of wallies that do this channel. This one just me because I'm going to do my top 10 on the PerfectDraft or Philps PerfectDraft Pro. And why? I done a top 5 about 6-7 months ago, and there was 2 particular kegs that were left out, and I said I'll do them when I do a top 10. Which I'm going to do now before I have to send these kegs back, because the kegs are building up quite a bit here. So obviously when I can, I'm using an empty keg rather than a full keg, and obviously not all of them I have a full keg, if that makes sense. But this is actually one that I've got the kegs here that I can show you, which wouldn't happen often if I'm honest. Right, just missing out on the top 10, and that's just a note for that, although I haven't got that keg here anyway, is Pineapple Express from Tiny Rebel. That comes in at 6.2% ABV. There's an IPA, real hints of pineapple, and there's a real grower. Anyway, enough about that. On with the top 10. Right, first one is in the machine. So I'm actually doing a review later of this. I'll show you this. I'll just show you it like that. That one, a Virgin Lager. It's a Spanish craft beer, and it comes in at 5.2% ABV. That was one that I'd had in the bottle. Hold on, let's just close the machine. What's wrong with the machine? That was one I'd had in the bottle, and I wasn't sure. I'd had a keg when it was first released. I think it's about 3 years ago. And the last time I had a keg, it really went down well. I did it at 5 on the Pro. I'm going to do it at 1 next time, but yeah, an all-round great all-rounder. If you like your lagers, you're definitely going to like that. So next up, a must for the top 10, an absolute must. We just done a review recently, a face-off. Yeah, if you put it up against the Lowenbrau, it's not as good, but in its own right, you know, the normal Spaten, it just misses the top 10. Spaten, I'm not going into that. This comes in at 5.9% ABV, and as I say, is always delivered every year. It is overshadowed this time, in my opinion, by the Lowenbrau, which will come on later. And yeah, still great. Right, number 8, your standard Lowenbrau. A lovely lager. I mean, I've drunk Lowenbrau since the 80s. You used to have the Courage pubs, if you remember, and then you had, was it the Shepherd Meme? I can't remember, but you had Kronenberg was the main one in the Courage pubs, and then every now and again you've got this beauty on draft, and Christ, we used to love it in the 80s. Lovely dynamic lager, nice fruity taste, and it always delivers. You always get a good keg. I highly recommend it. Right, on to number 7. Now this one might be a bit controversial, but I'll explain why. It's Corona. I just recently did a re-review of it. I also recently explained in the review that, as I say, this bar behind you here is a Corona bar. It was named that. Actually, it was made just around the time it came out on the PerfectDraft, which for me, being a Corona drinker for many years, remembering the bottles back in the day when you're only getting 330ml for your bottle when you could get a pint of Kronenberg. For me, it still delivers. I know a lot of people will say this flat as a, which is tea. on a PerfectDraft, and in the past I had one keg that wasn't that great, but a bit of messing about and poured correctly 9 times out of 10. It's really not that flat, and also it's not the most liveliest of lager anyway. You know, a lot of people say Corona should be just kept for a bottle. Again, I disagree, because that is a good, smooth, clean pint. Again, recommended. And the 4.5, I can session on it all day. That does help sometimes. So we're now into the top 6. Hold on, because I've done them all the wrong way around here, haven't I? So at number 6 we have Hasselröder. Now this, I've gone on about this for years, especially in PerfectDraft keg tips. This is like a premium pills, you know, an absolute beauty. I think it's 4.9 if I'm sure. 4.9 ABV, hold on. Yeah, 4.9 ABV. And it's top drawer, especially if you like your old school drinks. It really does do you. It really does flow. And it always has. As I say, I've got Hasselröder memorabilia era clock, and as I've said before, an absolute great drink. So, on to your top 5. The 5 that matter, one might say. At number 5, we have Orchard Pig. That was, like a lot of you, crying for a cider. Used to do Comrade's Heading for years, and he was like, you know, we're working on it, we're working on it. It got to the stage where he thought it's never going to happen. It did happen, and Jesus, they delivered. Exactly what it says, medium dry. If in any doubt, try the bottle, and the keg peas all over the bottle. 4.5% ABV, it's not bad either. You can last on it. The trouble is with this, the keg's gone in a few hours, especially on a hot summer's day. One thing I left these two together, these two mix really well. If you want to go old school and have a snake bite. If you want to go old school, stick a bit of blackcurrant in it. You know, a great all-rounder. So, we're up to number 4. And that is Hogarth. Again, this is a wheat beer, as a lot of you will know. I'm banging to my wheat beers, so they're going to be, obviously, in and around the top. Obviously, that's dropped down one. I'm sure most of you probably know what the difference is going to be now. But 4.9% ABV. I've drank it. Oh, it was the next wheat beer after Kronenbourg Blanc for me, without even realising what they were. It used to be a higher ABV on the pump many years ago, but it's always delivered, you know. A slice of orange in it, with a bit of a slice of lemon, a bit of lime. Again, it prospers in the summer than it does the winter, in my opinion, but it's still drinkable all year. So, we go on to number 3. And this is one of the ones that has just stolen the show this year. Your Laurenbrau Oktoberfest, 6.1% ABV. I've never had an Oktoberfest beer so smooth as I have this. And when I say it's delivered, it's stunned me, because I never thought that I'd let any of the wheat beers go out my top 3. But there you go. That has well and truly delivered, and anyone that's not tried this, you really want to. It keeps coming in and out of stock on Beerhawk. Obviously, it doesn't last long, because I think everyone knows how good it is. The Spaten's good, right? Don't get me wrong. Top 10 material, as I've shown you there. But that is different gravy. It really is. So, we'll go back to the famous 2. And if you haven't switched off and got bored by now, most of you can probably say, yeah, we know what's coming. He's predictable. So, at number 2, I don't need to go on too long about this beauty. I absolutely love it. I found this by mistake one day many years ago. Remember, I've owned a PerfectDraft for over eight years now, and this, you know, has always delivered. It's the reason I kept with the machines. I mean, that monk's got me in a bad way so many times, but I still love him, you know. As I say, this would be my number 1. It's my number 1 all year round release, obviously, because you can purchase this all year round. And the point is, look back on some of my videos, when you get to the bottom of the keg, you're in for a dream. It's a dream come true. You can mix these now. I've done some videos a little while ago on some of that as well, if you choose to, but I think standard on its own. And anything, if you're running off a Philps, 3 degrees is fine. I know some people say you've got to drink it higher. You can actually go lower. Yeah, people say it brings out more flavours. It can, but it's equally enjoyable 2 degrees, 3 degrees as it is 5 or 6, in my opinion. So, last but not least, I think everyone watching this knows what we're going to get this time, doesn't it? So your limited release, which is coming back next month, is the Franziskaner Royal. Where it's just standard Franziskaner is at 5%. This is like the bigger brother. This is what we call the king. This comes in at 6% as an absolute dream. I'm fortunate enough still to have a few kegs of it left, where I was fortunate enough to buy a lot last year, but this still #1 for me. I don't see that any change anytime soon. Then again, I said Hogarten will always be #3. The Lowenbrau, as I said, got better and better, but this tops it. The extra percentage just gives it that absolute. It's a dream come true for me. You know, it's more maltiness, it's more roasty, and it's got more depth than your standard Frankie. But again, it's a beauty. What can I say? Thanks for watching if you've seen it out this far. I didn't mean it to go on for that. I was trying to do 50 seconds each one to get it done in 8 minutes. Unfortunately, I've gone to 11. Do let me know your top 10. Do let me know if you think mine's a load of, you know. Right. Thanks for watching. Bonjour.